Hi everyone, my name is Ravikrishna Janyola and welcome to my channel Ravi Tech Talks. Please do like and subscribe to get notifications. Let us go into our course Microsoft Azure IoT. Today we will be discussing on Azure IoT device twins. So the IoT Hub device twin is a JSON document which is used to store the device properties for each and every registered IoT device. So the document stores the device state, conditions, and configuration for that particular device. So the information which is stored on the device twin is synchronized between the device as well as Azure IoT Hub, which is on the cloud. So, and when coming to the device twin feature, if you are creating an Azure IoT Hub using free tier or the standard tier, you will be getting the features of Azure device twin. Okay, and if you are creating the IoT hub using a basic tier, you will not get the feature of device twins. The device twin allows synchronization between both the device and the cloud. Let us say if the device is offline, even then when we are going and updating the device twin any of the properties on the Azure IoT hub portal level, once the device is online, it will be getting those values. And similarly, whatever properties which are being updated by the device on the device twin level, they will be synchronized on the cloud level at Azure IoT Hub. The IoT Hub device twin has the following sections. It has identity section, tags, and desired properties and reported properties. We will also look at some of the other properties which are there in the device twin. The device identity section of the device twin contains properties giving the device ID, status, and as well as the communication metrics and the version of the device twin itself. This section is only available to the IoT hub level and the application level which have a IoT hub level access. This is not this section doesn't is not accessible or even it cannot be read from the device level. Further, this section is a read-only and it is maintained by the IoT Hub. So we can see the section, we can see the identity and the versioning and other properties, but we will not be able to update those properties as they are read-only. The next section in the device twin is the tags. This section allows us to assign categorization of the device. This categorization allows us to target operations like device configuration, jobs on any particular subset of the device by querying with those particular tags. So these tags are nothing but device level tags. So we can categorize the devices saying that this device belongs to this factory or this device belongs to this particular location. So the location or the factory or any of such categorizational properties, those are nothing but tags actually. And these tags, they are only accessible and available on the IoT hub level. These tags are not accessible on the device level. And coming to the desired properties, these are the properties which are set at the Azure IoT hub level. So on the hub level, we will say that there is a property called as a temperature level. I will set it at 35 degrees or 40. So when I say set a property as a desired property, so that property will be pushed to the device level and it is updated on the device level. So from the cloud, I am sending a property to the device. And coming to the reported properties, so any property which is set at the device level and it is synchronized on the IoT hub level. So those are reported properties. So look at a demo on how we can do the tags as well as the desired properties and the reported properties. If you see this following diagram as I was mentioning, so in the device twin we have tags and properties desired and reported. So on from the device level, this is on the device level, this is our Azure IoT hub or our application level which is using Azure IoT hub SDK. So on the Azure IoT hub level, we will be able to read and write and the tags, but on the device level we will not have any access to the tags. And coming to the desired properties, we will have read and write change notifications on our Azure IoT hub level. and on the device level you will be only able to receive the notification and read the notifications, read the properties. You will not be able to write. And coming to the reported properties, you will be able to read and write at the device level, but you will be only able to see the change notification and read on the IoT hub level. We will look at a demo demonstrating the following features and seeing how the change notification and how the read write access policies work. Let me just switch to the Azure portal so that we can see a demonstration. So this is our Azure portal. This is the Azure IoT Hub which was created in our previous demos. We have two devices, IoT device 01 and IoT device 02. If I go to IoT device 02, you will be able to see the device properties, that is the device ID, primary key, and all the details, as well as you will be able to see message to device, direct methods and all. Here you can see the device twins. So let us go to the device twins. So as I was mentioning previously, this section, the device ID, status, status uptime, connection state, last activity. So this all belongs to the identity section of things. So the device ID, as you know it, that's the identity, unique ID of the device. The e tag is something which you shouldn't be bothering about. So that is something which is maintained by the IoT hub itself. So it is maintained because whenever there is a change in the device twin, so this e tag gets changed, so that we can get to know, like, differentiate between the changes in the device twin. Okay, so this e tag updation is something what is handled by the Azure IoT hub, and if you are using your own custom program, it is handled by the Azure IoT hub SDK itself. Okay, and even the device e tag also, it's handled by IoT hub itself. And the status, so as I was saying, this identity details are read only, and we cannot change it. So let me try to change the status to disable. Okay, if I save it, it doesn't get saved. It will revert back to enabled again. Okay, this is because we cannot change the identity details. It's all read only. If we want to say, change it, we need to have IoT hub level access. Okay, so here using the same portal, see here I am saying disable, and here I am saying. So since this portal has the IoT hub level access, if you go to device twins now, you can see that the status has been disabled, and the time at which it has been disabled is updated here. Now let me go back and enable it here. Okay, if I go to device twins, so after the identity details like authentication type, access, version and all, so here you can see that we have the desired and reported properties, but we don't have the tag section. So now let us create the tag section here. So let me just copy and paste tags. Okay, let us say I have created a tag saying that deployment location, building number is 43, and floor is first floor. So this device is installed in building number 43 and the floor is first floor. Okay, now let me save. Okay, as you can see, we don't have a tag section here. So let me just create the tag section. Let me paste the tags. So here I am creating tags called as deployment location, and inside which there is a building, number 43 and floor 1. So our device belongs to building 43 in floor 1. So if I update the tags here, you can see that the version has changed. So whenever you are doing any update to the device twins, the version itself will automatically get updated. That's handled by the Azure IoT Hub. Okay. So after creating a tag, I can just go back here, and to search, I can just say tags dot query. I think I have given a wrong name in the tags. The location is capital L. If you query, yeah, now getting. So tags are used like this so that we can categorize the devices. Now let us go into the device twins again. Okay. So in the device twins, as you can see, the properties we have desired and reported properties. So the desired properties can be set at the Azure IoT Hub level, and the reported properties are set from the device level. Okay. So now if I on the device desired properties, you can see that metadata, last updated, and version. So these are the details which are maintained by the Azure IoT Hub itself. So this is the main version of the desired properties, and this is the last updated. So now if I want to create a any custom property, I just need to add, let us add a temperature level, say level, and I'll set the initial temperature level at let us say 35 degrees. And if I once after doing this, if I save, you can see that the temperature level desired property is added. At the same time, inside the metadata, you can see for the temperature level, it again created metadata like what is the last updated for this particular property and what is the last updated version of this particular property. Okay. So whenever I am adding a new property in the desired properties, what happens is that IoT Hub will automatically create a metadata entry like this with the last updated and last updated version, and it will update the version number here. So let us say our current version is number 2. So it will update the last updated version to number 2, and then it will update it to a newer version of number 3, and after that it will update both the main version as well as this internal version to number 3. So let us see that. I will just say temp, I'll add another property, temp level 1. I'll just say 40. Now if we save this, the version number, it will create a metadata for the temp level 1 property, as well as it will update the internal version of everything to number 3 from second version to third version. Yeah, as I said, see, it has created a new metadata for that particular tag. It updated the version number. Okay. So now we are having a reported properties. So these are the properties where we cannot update anything here. As I said, just say based on the temperature level, the AC need to be turned on. Okay, I'll say on, and one is true, so that it need to be on. Just save this. So if I'm creating writing any properties inside here, you saw that when I click save, that is getting removed because we have only read-only access to this particular section. Okay. So I have created a sample application which takes in the IoT Hub connection string and the device connection string, and it will return us whenever we are updating something in the desired property here, the desired properties will send a notification to the device. So that device notification we will be able to see it in this simulation program. So I have just created a device client. So whatever happens at the device level, we will be able to see using this program. So when we are updating the desired property, that update notification will come to our device, so we will be able to see it. And when we are updating the reported property at the device level using that program, so we will get that change notification and the updated property in our device twins here. So now let us execute this program. So it is asking for to enter Azure IoT connection string. So the connection string for Azure IoT Hub, you can find it in shared access policies. So you have different policy name: IoT Hub owner, service, device, registry read, registry write. So as you can see, based on for each policy, these are the permissions what you will get. So for a service level thing, for device connectivity and all, we can take the service. Okay, I'm copying the primary connection string. And then it is asking to enter the device connection string. So for the device connection string, you need to go into particular device which you want to connect from. So we'll take Azure IoT device 02. I'm copying the primary connection string and then I'm pasting it. The device ID is IoT device 02. Okay, it is asking us to enter the desired property key. Okay, let us say temp level. Okay, it is asking us to enter the reported property. So AC on, I will say. So it is connecting and it is retrieving the digital twin. So as you can see in the desired properties, we have temp level at 35 and another temp level 1 at 40. And in the reported properties, we don't have anything like AC on in the device twin as of now. So what I will do is I'll go back to Azure Cloud Portal in the device twins. I will set the value of initial temp level to 45 degrees, let us say, and click save. Okay, as I click save, you can see that we got a notification on the device saying that desired property has been changed and the temperature level has been changed to 45 and temp level 1 is at 40 only and the new version of the new version is 5. Okay, so the desired property temp level is now 45. Okay, now let me just change it to 50 so that you can see it once again. Okay, see, again we got a notification which says the desired property has changed and temp level is 50 and the version is 6 and desired property temp level is now 50. Okay, so that's how we get that synchronization between the Azure Cloud Azure IoT Hub as well as the device. Now let me just close this, again rerun it so that we can see a demo of the reported properties. Now you can see that it is asking us to set value for the reported property AC on. I'll just say it as 1. Before I say 1 and click, you can go to device twins. You can see that here we don't have any reported properties here, right? So I am setting that reported on AC on property to 1. Okay, send the reported property AC on value, sending the reported. So I'll just refresh the device twin here. You can see that AC on became 1. Now let me set it to 0 so that you can see how the change notification and everything is updated. So now AC on is again 0. You can see that the version is changing and the last updated is also getting changed. You can see that metadata which is got created. Let me just set it to 1 again. You can see again it got changed and the version is also updated. So this is how the Azure IoT Hub and the device can be synchronous with each other using device twins. So again, coming to the device twin section, the size of this tags section, it's capped to maximum of 8 KB. So you cannot have, you can have the keys nested inside one another, like how I have did like deployment location, and inside that there is another key building. You can have a nested of keys and then a value, but the amount of size a tag properties can have, it cannot cross more than 8 KB, and the value of each reported property or the desired property, it cannot cross more than 32 KB. So those are the size restrictions on the device twins. So that's where because you might be thinking, if you want to update huge amount of data, you might want to leverage device twins, right? The reported properties as well as device properties, desired properties. But the thing is, you cannot have the value size more than 32 KB. So whatever you are passing in the device twin desired properties and the reported properties, it need to be within inside that 32 KB value. And in the end, you can see that there is capabilities as well. So if you want to enable IoT edge for this particular device, you can change this to true and you can save it. Okay, the IoT edge capabilities will get enabled then. Okay, so that's another property what you have in the device twins. Okay, hope this was helpful to you. Please like and share this video with your friends if they are also interested in learning the Azure IoT course. Have a nice day.